Therapy? I've never been like this. I'm sure eventually. I don't remember doing that with this one. I think this one's hard next weekend. Yeah, graduation next couple of months.
Golden.
Oh,
That's everything's a backward drought.
State law requires this body to announce at this time that a copy of the current Open Meetings Act is available at the back of the room where it is accessible to the public. Weiss.
Here.
Tiller.
Here.
Wolf.
Here.
Gibbon. Duker.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
So rise for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item Agenda 1, the consent agenda. Approve this agenda, pay the claims as submitted, approve the minutes of the February 20th, 2024 regular council meeting. Trent and Corey.
Johnson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Tiller.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes.
Gibbon.
Yes.
Duker.
Yes.
Item Agenda 2, public forum. Anybody for public forum? I will close public forum at this time. Item Agenda 3, accept the Citizens Advisory Review Committee's semi-annual report for Phelps County Development Corporation's utilization of LB 840 local option municipal sales funds from July 1st through December 31st, 2023. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Greg Erickson, and I'm representing the Citizens Advisory Review Committee. We met on February 14th to review the semi-annual report of sales tax use by PCDC for the period July 1st through December 31st. As you can see in the report, the funds were used on a variety of projects throughout Phelps County. Housing is still a major emphasis, including assistance with home sale down payment, renter relocation, construction of single-family homes, and developing new subdivisions, all of which help bring in over 360 new residents and will create more than 50 new housing units over the next 3 years. Assistance was also provided for creation of new businesses and improvements for existing businesses, and there's ongoing efforts to recruit new business to Phelps County. The solar generated power project should also benefit the city of Holdridge for years to come. The committee found PCDC is making good use of sales tax funds and approved the report. Ron, any comments?
Happy to answer questions. I think Greg covered a lot of ground there. Good overview of what PCDC's activities have been over the past 6 months, and we're pleased with the progress, but we're also redoubling our efforts for 2024 to accomplish more of our priorities.
Any questions, comments from council?
Do you have anything new coming this year that you want to let us know about? Any news? Pretty good.
Not ready to announce any specific projects, although we do have 2 expansions of local businesses that we're working with right now that will be significant new investments in the community. Really pleased about those. That's our first priority, is to help existing businesses. We continue to work on a handful of industrial prospects. One, which you've seen in the regular reports I sent to the City Council. We're making good progress on, but we don't have a signed letter of intent yet, but we hope to have that done very, very shortly.
Ron, just to back up a minute, on those local businesses, are those just prospects or are they actually moving forward?
They're moving forward.
Okay, all right, that's good. That's what we like to hear.
And we'll be able to share more about those in the coming weeks.
Right, and that's fine. I just,
Yeah.
just to make sure that they weren't just, they're thinking about
Yeah.
it. And okay, good, that's great. Any other questions, comments?
Is there any other updates with BD?
I'm meeting with BD tomorrow in a video conference with some corporate people as well as the local facility manager. We're talking about solar in that conversation, but also hope to get more information on Building 2 and its availability in the future. I don't have anything to share right now, but despite the fact that we hit a pothole with BD last year, that's a valuable asset that's undergoing an evaluation internally that we hope we can use and leverage to our advantage in the coming year. BD continues to employ 50 people, more or less. That's not going to change. And forever the optimist, we never count out the possibility that BD will relocate operations here for another product line sometime in the future.
Okay, if there's nothing else, I'll accept a motion to accept the review.
So moved.
Larry? And Lola seconds.
Fuker,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weeks,
Yes.
Tiller,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
I also shared with the council the year-end report that we prepare for investors, and I'd like to give you my personal invitation on behalf of the board to attend the annual investors meeting on March 26th. That'll be a luncheon, complimentary lunch provided for investors, and of course Holdridge is a the Holdridge municipality is an investor in PCDC in addition to the LB 840 funds that we administer for the city. So we hope you can make it. We'll have Casey Delitz, the director of DED, the state's Department of Economic Development, in as our keynote speaker.
Okay. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Fred.
Item agenda 4, accept the Holdridge Area Public Library's annual report.
All right. I believe you should all have received the electronic copy. If you'd like a physical copy, I've got copies here. Anybody? Okay. Last fiscal year, we've gone all out on our programming efforts for the community. We have more than hit what we thought was a reasonable goal, and we've had to, instead of doing drop-in attendance, we've had to implement reservations for all of our activities. People have to sign up, and 9 times out of 10, those sign-up sheets are full, and everybody attends. We have no empty seats. We like that, but it is difficult for us to assign a value to that. We can count circulations of books and DVDs. We can count the number of people using computers. How do we put a value on people coming to a class on how to make your own sourdough bread versus a informational seminar where they can come up and hold an alligator? I don't know. And it's a far cry from what libraries used to be. But this is what the community is responding to. And we have not stopped in trying to just keep literacy exercises going for children and adults. We've just, well, this year, in fact, this last month, we just replaced all and upgraded all the computers for patrons. They're so much better now. They're not the old wait 3 or 4 minutes before they boot up type things anymore. And people need those for job applications, for dealing with Social Security. All these things require internet access and a modern browser. We make those available. But again, we want to make sure that everybody in the community has the chance and the access to exercise their literacy skills. That's how they can really take charge of their own lives. We are looking at a slight decrease in our return on investment from increase over last year, but over the last 5 years. The last pages in the packet are talk about a return on investment. As I was filling this out for this meeting, I realized that those benefit numbers have not been updated in 5 years. And we have experienced plenty of inflation on all those items. So this is directly comparable to what we did last year, because those values in the benefit column have not changed. It is going to change in the future. There is no way we can adequately show what we're doing with today's money when we're trying to assign values based on half a decade ago. Books borrowed, they're not $27 anymore. They're $35 to $40. Audiobooks, holy cow, those are expensive now. Children's books, slightly more expensive. And just by playing around with those numbers, this last fiscal year, instead of 185% return on investment, depending on where I guess a adult book or a young adult book is valued, we can get up to about 220%. So it does make a difference, which benchmark we use. And I just wanted to let you know, it's just not fair to be benchmarking the library based on the cost of things 5, 6 years ago. We're going to be changing that. And at the same time, circulation is down. I hate to see that. What we offer is as good as we can do with the budget we have. All of the books I order for adult fiction, every month they are requested books, and that maxes out my budget, and I don't have to go into the book sale catalog and just throw darts at a page or anything. Everything we buy has been requested by patrons, which is great, but I worry about reaching the patrons that don't request anything. So we've got some fixing to do for our selection process. I don't know exactly what it is. If I knew what it was, I would have done it already. But that's the main way I'm looking for the library. The library building itself is, shall we say, past its prime. We need a new one. There are just too many things falling apart and going wrong with it. And I just gave my report to the library board an hour ago. They agreed with me, and hopefully they will be able to come up with a solution that will work for everybody. Housing the library in this current building is going to get really dicey in a couple years. We just had a roofer come out and take a look today. He said we can do a patch job on it but you need to be budgeting for a completely new roof in 5 years. I don't think the rest of the library is worth a completely new roof. So we've kind of got a deadline now, and hopefully that will be able to get some of the naysayers in the community to be a little more accepting that somebody's got to accept something they don't want in order for there to be a library.
I will mention something about the new building, and city administrator, rector, and I have met with members of the board.
Right.
And I guess all I can ask you is to reiterate to them, the ball is in their court.
I will let them know.
We have talked, we're waiting to hear from the
Okay.
city. I'm speaking for myself from the mayor, and I think the council also agrees that this is we are willing to help.
Okay.
And it's not like we don't want to help, we
Right.
just need a direction of
Right.
where to go with that.
The library board needs to provide leadership.
Yes.
I will let them know.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
That's not something I can really do. It has to come from the citizens. And the citizens appointed to the library board are the ones that need to lead our community that way.
Ultimately, I don't disagree with it. They need to step up, I feel, and let us know what direction they want to go. There's several options, we have discussed with them, and we're waiting to hear back.
Okay. Well, like I said, I just lit the fire under them less than an hour ago, so I deeply pray that they heard that.
Okay. Well,
and-
if it need be, I can maybe stop down and have a conversation with them also at
Okay.
one of their meetings. But I don't want to push them, but at the same time, we need
Okay.
some
Right.
direction from there.
Understood. I also want to thank the city council for your support and the financial support, especially over the past years that I've been here. We're doing the best we can to steward your funds responsibly, and if there is another way that you would like us to go, please speak up. Libraries are reaching a crossroads. There's so much more home entertainment that people can access without visiting the library. Getting them to read, exercise those literacy skills. The library is no longer the only game in town the way it was when I was a kid. So we've got to find a way to bring them out. Right now, we're doing that with programming. It's anybody's guess what the next step after that is going to be.
I have a
Yes.
question. Regarding the price of your books, all the books I've purchased in the past online, way lower, half of the $35 cost. So where are you getting your books at? Anymore, you can buy books.
We do
Real
purchase
reasonable.
from Amazon. We
Oh.
also purchase through a broker, Baker and Taylor. For the benefit, I'm using the cover price. We get 40 to 60% off that.
Okay.
We go for every discount we possibly can. But yeah, for the benefit, okay, yes, I'm going to use the sticker price. For what we're actually paying, every discount we can get, like I said, 40 to 60% off.
New hardcovers
Hmm.
are expensive.
Paperbacks are cheap, hardcovers are.
Yeah.
And they last longer.
Right.
Yeah, a paperback is generally estimated to last through about 10 borrowings, and a hardcover, 30 to 35. So it even with the price differential, it's a better deal for the library to buy a paperback, or to give up on paperbacks and buy the hardbacks. So it's great to see a book that's been used and loved so well it's falling apart, but it also means I have to buy a replacement. So,
Okay. Any other questions, comments?
okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Accept the motion to accept the annual report from the Holdridge Library.
I'll make the motion.
Nick?
Second.
Stacy?
Weiss.
Yes.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Euchre.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes. Mike, just real quick. According to these numbers, your county contribution actually went down this year?
Just a little bit, yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, the renegotiation of the pact between the city and the county for funding the library is up this month. I don't think that they're going to stop giving us money this month, but that particular agreement is up for renegotiation, and that's strictly between you and them. I just deal with the fallout.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Item agenda 5, consider the second reading of ordinance 2476, creating water extension district number 2024-1.
Second reading, ordinance 2476. An ordinance of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska, creating water extension district number 2024-1, defining the boundaries and limits thereof, providing for the construction of water mains and other necessary and incidental work, approving plans, specifications, and estimates of cost, providing for the securing of bids, providing for the payment of such improvements and other incidental expenses by the issuance of warrants, bond anticipation notes, and bonds, providing for the assessment of the cost of such improvements against the property especially benefited thereby, and the levy of general taxes, providing for the publication of this ordinance in pamphlet form and related manners. Be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska.
Corey
Second.
and Nick.
Tiller.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Euchre.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Due to time constraints, since they've already started working on some of this, I would ask for a motion to suspend the rules to go to final reading.
I'll make the motion.
Trent
Second.
and Larry?
Johnson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Tiller.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Euchre.
Yes.
Final reading, ordinance 2476. An ordinance of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska, creating water extension district number 2024-1, defining the boundaries and limits thereof, providing for the construction of water mains and other necessary and incidental work, approving plans, specifications, and estimates of cost, providing for the securing of bids, providing for the payment of such improvements and other incidental expenses by the issuance of warrants, bond anticipation notes, and bonds, providing for the assessment of the cost of such improvements against the property especially benefited thereby, and the levy of general taxes, providing for the publication of this ordinance in pamphlet form and related matters. Be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska.
Larry
Second.
and Stacy?
Euchre.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Tiller.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Item agenda 6, consider the second reading of ordinance 2477, creating sanitary sewer extension district number 2024-1.
Second reading, ordinance 2477. An ordinance of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska, creating sewer extension district number 2024-1, defining the boundaries and limits thereof, providing for the construction of sewer mains and other necessary and incidental work, approving plans, specifications, and estimates of cost, providing for the securing of bids, providing for the payment of such improvements and other incidental expenses by the issuance of warrants, bond anticipation notes, and bonds, providing for the assessment of the cost of such improvements against the property especially benefited thereby, and the levy of general taxes, providing for the publication of this ordinance in pamphlet form and related manners. Be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska.
Trent and Stacy.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Tiller,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Bucher.
Yes.
I'll move to suspend rules.
Corey and
Second.
Nick. Thank you.
Tiller,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Bucher,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Final reading, ordinance 2477. An ordinance of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska, creating sewer extension district number 2024-1, defining the boundaries and limits thereof, providing for the construction of sewer mains and other necessary and incidental work, approving plans, specifications, and estimates of cost, providing for the securing of bids, providing for the payment of such improvements and other incidental expenses by the issuance of warrants, bond anticipation notes, and bonds, providing for the assessment of the cost of such improvements against the property especially benefited thereby, and the levy of general taxes, providing for the publication of this ordinance in pamphlet form and related manners. Be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska.
Ben
I'll stay.
and Corey.
Smith,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Tiller,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Bucher,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Item agenda 7. Consider the second reading of ordinance 2478, creating street improvement district number 2024-1.
Second reading, ordinance 2478. An ordinance of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska, creating street improvement district number 2024-1, defining the boundaries and limits thereof, providing for the paving, grading, curbing, guttering, and other necessary and incidental work, approving plans, specifications, and estimates of cost, providing for the securing of bids, providing for the payment of such improvements and other incidental expenses by the issuance of warrants, bond anticipation notes, and bonds, providing for the assessment of the cost of such improvements against the property especially benefited thereby, and the levy of general taxes, providing for the publication of this ordinance in pamphlet form and related manners. Be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska.
I'll move.
Stacy and Nick.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Bucher,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Tiller,
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes.
Are we gonna move to suspend?
Corey moves to suspend,
I'll second.
and Lola seconds.
Tiller,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Bucher,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Final reading, ordinance 2478. An ordinance of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska, creating street improvement district number 2024-1, defining the boundaries and limits thereof, providing for the paving, grading, curbing, guttering, and other necessary and incidental work, approving plans, specifications, and estimates of cost, providing for the securing of bids, providing for the payment of such improvements and other incidental expenses by the issuance of warrants, bond anticipation notes, and bonds, providing for the assessment of the cost of such improvements against the property specially benefited thereby, and the levy of general taxes, providing for the publication of this ordinance in pamphlet form and related matters, be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska.
Larry
Second.
and Ben will second.
Bucher,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Tiller,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Item agenda 8, consider the second reading of ordinance 2479, issuing municipal improvement bond anticipation notes, series 2024, in an amount not to exceed $800,000 for the construction of City of Holdridge Municipal Water Extension District number 2024-1, Sanitary Sewer Extension District 2024-1, and City Improvement District 2024-1.
Second reading, ordinance 2479. An ordinance authorizing the issuance and sale of bond anticipation notes in one or more series of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska, of the aggregate principal amount of not to exceed $800,000 for the purpose of providing interim financing for a portion of the cost of constructing infrastructure improvements in the Northern Meadows development, prescribing the form of said notes, agreeing to the bonds to pay the notes at maturity or to pay the notes from other available funds, entering into a contract on behalf of the city with the holders of said notes, and ordering this ordinance published in pamphlet form or electronic form, be it ordained by the mayor and city council of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska.
I'll make a motion.
Lola and Trent seconds.
Wolf,
Yes.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Bucher,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Tiller.
Yes.
Motion to suspend.
I'll make a motion.
Nick
Suspend the rules.
A second.
and Stacy seconds.
Weiss,
Yes.
Tiller,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Bucher,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Final reading, ordinance 2479. An ordinance authorizing the issuance and sale of bond anticipation notes in one or more series of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska, of the aggregate principal amount of not to exceed $800,000 for the purpose of providing interim financing for a portion of the cost of constructing infrastructure improvements in the Northern Meadows development, prescribing the form of said notes, agreeing to issue bonds to pay the notes at maturity or to pay the notes from other available funds, entering into a contract on behalf of the city with the holders of said notes, and ordering this ordinance published in pamphlet or electronic form, ordained by the mayor and city council of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska.
I'll make a motion.
Lola
A second.
and Stacy will second.
Wolf,
Yes.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Bucher,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Tiller.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item agenda 9, discussion of auditorium rental. I believe everything's got the handout.
Met with the committee tonight, and what they agreed on was nonprofit, any nonprofit organization can rent the auditorium at a charge. So I will change that to state that. They agreed on that the storage fees, that take it down to $5 per day if there's any other items in the auditorium that's used for whatever purposes, but is not city equipment, that they will pay a $5 per day storage fee. Then Dane approached me and stated that he's had a few people rent it for half days from like say 3 to 6 or maybe 1 to 4. So I'm gonna put the half day events back in there for $50. And then on the rental form, the committee stated they would like to have it designated as either it's gonna be for nonprofit or for personal use, personal/business use. So that will be added on to the rental agreement form. And then I'll have all these changes done, and then we can bring it to the March 19th meeting as this resolution for approval by the council.
I guess my only question is, did we cover a deposit?
I've talked that with Dane, and since we have a flat rate fee, we feel we don't need a deposit, because I think we're gonna get the payment up front.
Yeah, the flat rate fee will be paid before. When we had tables and chairs, they paid a deposit, and then they paid the balance after they got done, because we knew how many tables and chairs and things that they used. So now, since it's a flat rate and we know how much it's gonna cost before they use the auditorium, they'll pay for the whole thing before they use it. And that is a benefit, because every once in a while, people get married and they leave town and you can't find them. No. Hasn't happened a lot, but once in a while, that's a problem.
Who would ever have thought that? Any other questions?
We're still adding the $100 for using alcohol?
Correct. Yep, it's on there. Additional rentals, $100 for liquor concessions. Because that might add, that adds a little extra cleanup time and whatnot. People tend to spill.
No, we don't do that. And then the nonprofit, you were probably talking about, are we gonna make him come up here and talk to us?
No,
Okay.
no, it'll be, Dane hasn't filled out the form, so.
Yeah.
I
No,
visited a little bit about,
Well, your nonprofit storing stuff, you're still gonna charge them a $5 fee?
Well, we usually don't have a problem with non-profit storing the stuff.
Toys for Tots.
Well, that's a different scenario because we're assisting them.
We're still a non-for-profit using the facility. By this, you would charge them $5 a day for storing stuff up there. If I'm wrong, I mean, that's the way I look at it. If you're charging a $5 storage fee, but you're not gonna charge a nonprofit, you might make it that a nonprofit doesn't get charged a storage fee for use of.
I can write it in there.
Because I'm just saying that, you know, Optimus uses it, and you start charging them $5 a day. Some of the other youth basketball uses it, they leave their stuff in there for a couple of days.
Yeah, it's good clarify.
I can
Yes.
add, I can
But
add that.
I would add a timeline, if it's in there in excess of 2 weeks, what's the reason why behind it? I don't know how long like Toys for Tots does it, if it's a month, 2 weeks, whatever, but.
Well, Toys for Tots, at times, they've had people donate, say, in June, July.
Yeah, and so it'll sit there for.
So it'll sit there for 6 months, so, I mean, I think that's a common sense judgment. I mean, it's,
Right, yes.
so.
It's, yeah,
Yeah.
but I can see the wrong person being like, well, seeing their stuff sitting up there for 8 months, why are you charging me for,
Right.
and now they're a non-for-profit too.
Well, then they come to the council and discuss it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's, I want to make sure it's.
No, but that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so we won't do anything about this tonight, we'll make the changes.
I'll make the changes and it'll be on the council for
All right,
approval.
great.
Thank you guys for doing that.
Thank you.
Chicken salad.
Open discussion, Chief, we'll start with you tonight, I didn't want you to feel left out over there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was getting worried. I thought I was the last guy. So, couple of things. Number one, starting to hear the Jake breaks again, so I asked my people to start addressing it again.
The what, I'm sorry?
The Jake breaks, engine braking.
Somebody wrote a ticket for one just last week. So
Who did?
I don't remember who, but one of the officers. I just saw
They
one.
will be commended. So, but anyway, And then we've had issues with that mash coming from the ethanol plant.
Oh, yeah.
So we brought it up to, you know, cleanup and all that stuff. So I advise my officers to write tickets if they catch someone doing that, with their names and address, so we just charge them for cleanup fees. But I also contacted Captain Schmidt with the State Patrol, see if their courier guys can help us with it too. So they're gonna help as well, so hopefully that'll contain it a little bit, but so I'll curtail it a little bit, so.
Great.
Other than that, that's all I got.
All right, thank you. Dane?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah. Chris?
The water bonds that we issued, I just want to let you know the interest rate came in at 4.4%. So we got a really good rate.
Yeah, good. And they are running water out of that
Yep.
the last couple of years.
Yeah, they're pumping water, so.
Yeah. Moving right along. Yeah, right. Nick?
Will that be ready, do they know?
We're talking June, wasn't it, Kim? We figured we'd have it ready up and pumping
I think so, yes.
after all the testing and everything. That's what we're shooting for.
Only I got is, a few of us that went to that meeting, we met with the guy about pool, and now we've all discussed about a new pool. We have an option of waiting to hear back of going to tour McCook's. Ben and I kind of looked at it, like, something about what we need, which things we can take in and out, but they're about, what, 60% done? And
Yeah, I think that's what
we
it
just
said.
get together, and once I get a date, time, whatever, I'll let you guys know, and if you wanna go down and take a look at it, and so, I know that's something we all talked about, is new pool. It's not a matter of if ours goes, it's when,
Right.
so.
Is that for like just the infrastructure or like the, what it looks like? You know what I mean? Is the pool,
They're about 60% done, so we get to go actually see.
no, ours?
Yeah, she's asking about ours. Ours, the tub itself is cracked
Oh.
and in bad shape, and so is the deck, and I mean,
Piping under the
Yeah,
deck.
it's not a matter of, like I said, we could go turn it on this summer and there'll be no pool. So, it's something we need to really look at. So, I'm gonna let you guys know, and if you're interested, if not, tell me to do whatever, and
when was that? Middle 60s?
Our pool,
Built in the 50s.
our pool was built in 1939.
Oh, that was way
Oh,
off.
really?
39, really?
It was built in 39 and we did updates in 95, where we went in inside and jackhammered everything out, put all new plumbing in. And then 2001, we added the slides.
Wow.
Wow.
So the infrastructure's been in since what, 95 then? Or, you know,
The,
yeah.
Piping.
the original piping is still there, but we redid the piping for the bathrooms and whatnot in 95.
Okay, wow.
so it's, yeah, it's,
Yeah.
And where did you say you were gonna take a
McCook.
look on? McCook?
yep.
Okay.
Emailed the guy, and he's supposed to pass information on, and he offered everybody to go take a look at it.
Then if he doesn't get back, just let me know. I know Nate over
And
there.
I figured you knew somebody about it, so I wasn't too worried about it.
And he can get us in, so.
Yeah, but we need to look at it. It's kind of like the library, it's
Okay.
Anything else?
new.
I have nothing.
What?
I'm impressed that you said that noticed that the Jake brakes started up again.
Beat you to the punch, huh?
They've gotten
I
worse.
hadn't noticed they went
Thank
down.
I think they did for a little bit, but I think they're,
Yeah,
it's picking
let's
back
get
up.
bad again.
Well, I think if you write a ticket or two, that word gets out.
Yeah.
It does, and it seems to last a month or two,
Right,
maybe 3
yeah.
max, and then.
Yeah, no, nothing for me, thank you.
Larry?
No.
Stacy?
Nothing.
Molly?
No, other than, just that if you, at the conference this, last weekend, they had some really good information on, the Epic option thing. And if you're able to, look at some of that hand up from the, handbook thing, they had really good information on there to work from. So take a look
Yeah.
at it if you haven't. It's good.
Cory?
Nothing for me.
Natalie?
Just briefly, vacancy registry letters went out, most of them at the end of last week, a couple more went out today. Tentative plan is to make our first and second assessments. For most of the properties, I have one that will just get a first assessment because we did give them a 6-month extension. But everybody else will get their first, which is the $250 registration fee, and the second $500 fee assessed against the property when we do special assessments in April, did you tell me? And then their third fee, or the second renewal, will be $1,000, and those will come due June 15th for most people. So I think there's seven properties, and then the 8th one we gave the 6-month extension to. So they're just coming due to, their first payment just came due in January. So.
Okay, all right, thank you.
An update on the library, I got the, if you recall, we did the smoke test on the piping, come back that there was a small leak in the basement, we got it fixed. 2 days later, I got the report from Mr. Burris that a couple of ladies were still feeling nauseated, and so I had Larry Kirshner from Kearney Home Inspections come do the mold test, and they said that the mold upstairs was very low, but there was some mold in the basement that was very high, and he felt it was coming from all the old books and cardboard stored in the basement. And after I went back down there, and then a day later, and the maintenance man had everything collected and boxed away and put away and stored in that northwest room. So I don't know if that's going to settle it down or whatnot, but the mold upstairs was good. I've been in contact with B2 Environmental out of Grand Island, and I will get a hold of them to see if they can come do an overall air quality like we had done last year from Terracon. Just have a different party come in and see if they can do some air sampling and see if we can find something.
All right, thank you. Brian?
I don't have anything, thank you.
I just want to follow up on something that came up. You know, you're talking about the pool and the library, the auditorium. At some point in the future, we should probably sit down and try to develop a 5-year or 10-year plan, or 5-year plan, 10-year plan, so we can get kind of organized. What is our priority? Is the pool going to be a priority? The auditorium, the library? What is our? That's going to be kind of a loose thing. We're not going to tie, tie future councils to this, but at least we're not just kind of helter-skelter going out. Let's try to organize a little bit, and where do we want to put our emphasis first, if you would. And I don't, I just throw that out now. I really haven't given much thought about how we're going to go about doing that, but if you guys got some ideas of how we can maybe do that, put together a plan and something we can all kind of agree on, everybody get their input. I think that would be helpful. Like I say, since last week we were there, we're talking pools, and now we got library, and we've talked about the auditorium, so I just kind of like to maybe try to get maybe some focus onto where we would like to go. Yeah. I have nothing else. Anybody else?